Just ahead on CTV News, community leaders are preparing to protest across the country this weekend. Plus,
a big surprise for Prince George's County Public Schools. An anonymous donor is giving money to help transform school libraries. I'll tell you more about it coming up.
And do you know what's in your protein shake? A new report reveals a shocking new ingredient. Those stories and more on CTV News starting now.
Good evening. This is CTV News for October 16th. I'm Jonathan Hunter.
And I'm Anaya Falcon. Thanks so much for joining us.
Leaders from the National No Kings Coalition are gearing up for Saturday's peaceful day of actions. Millions of people are expected to come to the 2,600 events taking place all across the country. Organizers held a virtual news conference today to let people know what to expect. The leaders say they want President Donald Trump and his Republican allies to know America has no kings. They also want people to know there is nothing anti-American about what they are doing.
There is nothing more American than saying that we don't have kings and exercising our right to peaceful protest. America doesn't have kings. That's our entire point. I also want to be clear. It is ridiculous. It's also sinister because it is part of a broader effort to create a permission structure to crack down on organized opposition and peaceful dissent in this country.
And there will be a couple of No Kings protests taking place in our region. 2 will be taking place in Bowie, and 1 protest is scheduled to take place in Greenbelt Saturday afternoon.
And Maryland is putting $1 million toward community revitalization with a new grant program. The Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development just announced $1 million in technical assistance grants to support 38 projects across 16 jurisdictions in the state. The funding will help nonprofits, local governments, and development groups with housing, home ownership, small business development, and neighborhood revitalization efforts. Secretary Jake Day says the grants represent meaningful positive change for communities around Maryland.
And Congresswoman Sarah Elthrift has decided not to receive a paycheck while the government is shut down. The Congresswoman requested the Chief Administrative Officer of the House to withhold her pay until the government reopens. Elthrift says she is standing in solidarity with the 44,000 federal workers in Maryland's 3rd District who are struggling to pay their bills this month. Elthrift and Senator Angela Alsobrooks introduced a bill that would ensure federal workers who have to work without pay are eligible for unemployment insurance.
Heart of America, a nonprofit that helps transform school libraries across the country, recently launched a new initiative for Prince George's County Public Schools.
Our Michaela Newton tells us how one school's library in our very own backyard got a facelift and is helping kids fall in love with reading one book at a time.
I remember when I first came here, the library was, for the most part, we had books, but it was more of a storage room.
Andrew Jackson Academy in Forestville, Maryland is about 60 years old. And for a long time, the school's library matched its age.
It was just a lot of junk, and there was a nasty orange carpet in here.
But that's not the only thing the library needed.
At that time, we did not have a media specialist/librarian. So one of the things that I tasked myself with was that, we're going to have a librarian media specialist.
That's where Ms. Perkins steps in.
It was interesting because I saw that it needed a lot of work.
That was until this year. I'm standing outside of Andrew Jackson Academy, one of several of Prince George's County Public Schools that recently got a newly renovated school library. A newly renovated library was revealed, filled with brand new books, technology, and furniture and decor. The transformation was completed by Heart of America, a nonprofit that launched a multi-million-dollar initiative to transform 46 school libraries across the county. The pull-up fund helped support and donate for the PGCPS transformation project.
These were dreams. We design with, not for. And so what you see today in front of you is really the result of that.
As for Ms. Perkins, she's excited for the students and their newfound love of reading.
We have over 15,000 books. It just brings me so much joy. I love sharing stories with them. I love being able to talk to them about all the things that we have here. They are so excited. The library is brighter, it's more inviting. We have new furniture, it's been painted. It's just such a more welcoming environment. And the children are eager to access all the things that we have in the library.
Michaela Newton, CTV News.
Thanks, Michaela. Andrew Jackson Academy also has a brand new music lab and community room donated by other nonprofit organizations for students to enjoy. And meanwhile, Prince George's County Public Schools is under corrective action after the state found major issues with its special education program. New data shows PGCPS had the highest number of special ed teacher vacancies, with about 240 openings in Maryland last school year. And that's more than double the next highest school district. That shortage has led to more complaints from parents and teachers who say the workload has become overwhelming. The district says it's working to fix the problem with new training, oversight, and plans to fill open positions. But some educators say those steps should have happened long before the state had to step in.
Democratic governors across the country have joined to form a new health alliance. This is in response to the vaccine guidance coming from the Trump administration and Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Health experts have been alarmed by some of Kennedy's decisions related to vaccine guidance and his decision to cut funding for certain health services. Wes Moore is one of the governors participating in the Governor's Public Health Alliance. Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown has released new guidance for state and local law enforcement agencies to follow when working with federal agents. The guidance is used to help them comply with state laws, which includes Maryland officers not asking suspects about their immigration status, identifying themselves as Maryland officers, and adhering to the state's use of force standards. As of this year, there are 9.8 immigration arrests per day in Maryland.
And County Executive Aisha Braveboy has named the new Chief Administrative Officer of Economic Development. She is Miss Tracy Benjamin Esquire. In her most recent position, Benjamin served as Deputy County Attorney in the Office of Law for Prince George's County, where she led the transactional unit and provided strategic legal counsel to more than 20 agencies. Prior to government service, Benjamin practiced with law specializing in intellectual property and corporate transactions and technological law. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Anaya Falcon.
And I'm Jonathan Hunter. Coming up, putting food on the table is getting harder and harder, especially during the government shutdown.
One local food pantry is working to help residents. I have that story and more when we come back.
This is a journey no family ever expects to take. I know because my family has been where you are now. We all asked ourselves the same question. Why us? I wish we could give you the answer. In our hardest moments, we found there was a whole community of support waiting for us. Holding each other for the bad news and the good. So please, let this house remind you how loved you are and how strong you are. With all our love, from one Ronald McDonald House family who stayed to another.
Welcome back. A Bethesda education technology firm is cutting jobs as it prepares to merge with the university it came from. Accelerd LLC has notified the state it will lay off its remaining 108 employees by the end of the year. The move comes after the company got rid of early plans to cut 57 workers in August. Accelerd says some of those laid off could be rehired once the reintegration process is complete, but those positions will be competitive.
The Department of Government Efficiency says it slashed nearly $15 million in grants and contracts to the University of Maryland. According to DOJA's wall of receipts, at least 30 grants have been reduced or cut since January. UMD's Vice President of Research, Patrick O'Shea, back in September said, quote, researchers may proceed as usual unless notified otherwise by the UMD Office of Research Administration or their federal sponsor. WSSC Water has expanded customer assistance programs to offer customers relief amid financial uncertainty. Under the Get Current program, customers who pay half of their full account balance will see the remainder of their balance forgiven. Plus, 100% of late payments and charges will be waived. As of October 1st, approximately 80,000 accounts totaling more than $58.1 million are past due. To learn more about WSSC's water financial assistance programs, you can visit wsscwater.com/assistance.
And the government shutdown continues, and furloughed workers are in need of help. I went to Mission of Love Charities to find out how they are making a difference. It's day 16 of the government shutdown, and with government workers receiving short or no pay, help is needed. That's why Mission of Love Charities is stepping up to the plate.
Can I get a men's hygiene kit, please?
These times mean sometimes buying medicine or food. So we really just wanted to just make sure we take one component out of what keeps people up at night.
And with the holidays around the corner, Bradley says they're just trying to keep up.
Last week, we had over 1,200 people come to the door for services, and that is, from last year, that doubles the amount of people that are coming to the door right now.
The pantry was running out of food today, and Mission of Love Charities is one of the largest food pantries in the county. The nonprofit has a day center, diaper bank, a health clinic, and provides case management to community members.
The biggest cost that I see that is kind of hard for us, we're trying to keep as many fresh fruits and vegetables in here to give out to the community, and also meat.
Bradley says community partners are keeping them afloat, but with the government shutdown and no one to process funding, the nonprofit may be in danger. But Mission of Love Charities is pushing to keep their doors open by partnering with local farmers. They even have plans to expand and provide more community services in a building across the street by the end of January.
I just want everyone to know that you're not alone. Sometimes in trying times you feel like there's pressure, but you're not alone, and we are here to help.
And if you are in need of help, you can visit Mission of Love Charities in Capitol Heights Monday through Friday from 8 to 4 p.m. And if you would like to donate non-perishable food items or volunteer, you can visit molcinc.org. And Riverdale resident Lisa Martin was killed in a hit and run while biking in Beltsville last week. Martin was struck by a car on her usual weeknight ride near the Goddard Center. She was a decorated cyclist and served as the president of the Route 1 Velo, a competitive racing team. The driver also struck another cyclist in the same incident. The Route 1 Velo team held a somber ride honoring Martin wearing all black. A GoFundMe was set up for Martin and they collected more than $74,000, exceeding their $55,000 goal. Martin's funeral will be held on Saturday in Riverdale Park.
67-year-old Philip Robinson of Laurel has pled guilty to violating Maryland environmental laws regarding the discharge of pollutants in Prince George's County. The investigation was led by Attorney General's Environmental and Natural Resources Crime Unit and began after a citizen notified authorities about dumping occurring at the dead end of Van Dusen Road in Laurel. The investigation revealed once a week Robinson would dump over 100 gallons of oil into a ditch leading towards Indian Creek, a state waterway. Robinson was given a 1-year suspended sentence, 2 years probation, and 60 hours of community service.
A major beltway expansion has been put on hold. The region's Transportation Planning Board voted Wednesday to defer a decision on extending express lanes on I-495 across the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. The proposal would add roughly 11 miles of toll lanes from Fairfax County into Prince George's County. But board members say the plan lacks consensus and needs more work before moving forward, leaving its fate uncertain. The final version of the region's long-range plan, Visualize 2050, will be voted on December 17th.
A new audit highlights safety concerns about the maintenance and operation of Metro Rail's elevators and escalators. The audit released by the Washington Metro Rail Safety Commission showed 5 major findings, including mechanics not reviewing job hazard analysis and personnel not trained on fall protection requirements. The audit requires Metro Rail to create corrective action plans to fix these issues within the next 30 days and recommended Metro Rail to update incomplete job descriptions for workers and address the use of multiple systems to collect data.
Now, here's a worrying report. A Consumer Reports investigation found that protein powders and shakes have a concerning amount of lead. The investigation found that 70% of products tested had more than the recommended 0.5 micrograms a day. Some popular brands with the highest concentrations of lead are Naked Nutrition Vegan Mass Gainer and Huel Black Edition. The good news is you can reduce the chances of long-term effects by reducing or completely stopping daily use of specific powders and shakes. For a full list of those products, visit the website on your screen. And still to come on CTV News, paychecks on pause and budgets are under pressure.
After the break, we speak with a financial advisor about managing your funds during the government shutdown. Don't move.
Once upon a time, there was a special blue marble. Well, a green and blue marble, really. It floated in space. If you looked closely, you could see curious creatures of all sizes, colors, and shapes. And happy people like you and me.
The marble gave them everything they needed to survive, and more. Crisp air to breathe, fresh water to drink, tasty food to fill their bellies, crucial medicines to keep them healthy, and gigantic trees to use for their homes. For a while, the people felt peace, and the marble fed their souls.
But as time passed, the people changed. They became busy and distracted. The marble changed too. All life there came under pressure. Nature needed their help. And they realized they needed nature too. So they partnered with the sun, the wind, the land, and the water to restore the marble that had always sustained them.
Is that the end of the story?
Not at all. Just the beginning.
Timeless, legendary, charitable.
For Halloween, there's nothing more iconic than the UNICEF trick-or-treat box. Look good, do good, and feel even better because giving back is always in fashion.
What?
What?
Not you, Miss Plume. The trick-or-treat box. I want that baby to really shine. You're doing great, sweetie. Action!
Go to trickortreatforunicef.org and get a box.
It's now day 16 of the federal government shutdown. Thousands have been laid off from their jobs, and many families are feeling the financial strain fast.
So how do you manage your money and prepare your budget during a shutdown? Joining us in the studio today to give us some tips is the founder and CEO of Good News Financial and Investment Advisors, LLC, Dr. Jovan Jackson. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, Dr. Jackson, thousands of Americans are going without paychecks right now because of this shutdown. So what are your very first financial steps that you could give someone when their income suddenly stops?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Focus on what you can control, and that's your cash flow. This is a great time to start to look at your discretionary income by looking at your essentials, focusing on the things that are important, such as your housing, food, utilities, transportation, and then cutting the things that are discretionary and is not important, like eating out and subscriptions and things like that. That would be a good place to start.
And Dr. Jackson, how can someone, I guess, make sure their credit score stays well during a time like this?
Well, one of the things that many of our community members are doing now is I encourage you not to wait until you miss a payment. To contact your creditors, there are many programs, hardship programs, skip a payment programs, forbearance programs through your banks and credit unions. I would encourage our community to be proactive instead of reactive and waiting till after you've missed a payment, because many of the creditors are working with our federal employees and those who are missing income at this time.
And for those who may have a little savings, how should they decide what to tap first into?
Again, focusing on the essentials, making sure that you have your housing costs are covered, food and transportation, utilities. The essentials are the things that we really have. A lot of times we have spent a lot of, when we really take the time and look at our budget, we realize there's so much fat, I call it fat, or money that's going out and being drained out. So we want to really kind of get lean during this time. If you have not established an emergency budget, now is the time to do so. I call it a shutdown budget, but it's something that you should have in place of circumstances like this that you can rely on and get real mean and lean with your cash flow and your expenses.
And Dr. Jackson, are there specific conversations people should be having with their banks or creditors to really ease that pressure right now?
Absolutely. Let them know what's going on. This isn't a time to be private or be prideful. Let them know what's happening, because, again, there are programs in place for times like this where they already have things to help the consumers with, again, skipping payments or deferring payments so that the accounts do not go into delinquency. And so absolutely being proactive and having that conversation now and letting them know that you are working towards a resolution soon.
And Dr. Jackson, you mentioned the importance of having an emergency fund. So what are some of the lessons people can take away from this shutdown to better prepare themselves for unexpected financial crisis?
Great question, Anaya. Use this time as a wake-up call. This is a great time to kind of restructure, look at your budget, look at your spending plan, rebalance your portfolio, and then also position yourself for recovery when your pay does resume. This is also a great time the markets is a lot of uncertainty in the market, but we know there's also a lot of opportunity too. So once you have taken care of your essentials and your emergency fund, consider taking advantage of some of the investment opportunities out here as well to position yourself for long-term growth.
And then, Dr. Jackson, this will be our last question. And we all know that everyone should have a rainy day fund, because the reality of the situation is it's not a matter of if, it's really just a matter of when you're going to run into that rainy day. So do you have like a rough estimate as far as how much money the average person should put in their rainy day fund?
Absolutely, Jonathan. The rule of thumb is about 3 to 6 months. But after we all experienced in 2020 with COVID, now we're encouraging our clients to do at least 6 to 9 months to make sure that, we can cover some of these long-term situations. So absolutely, bare minimum 3 months. But if you can the goal is to get to that 9 to 12 months, that would be perfect.
Really good advice right there. Dr. Jackson, thanks for your time today.
My pleasure. Thank you both.
And if you would like to get more tips from Dr. Jackson, you can visit her at the Good News Financial and Investment Advisors LLC offices located in Landover.
Or you can go to goodnewsfinancialservices.com. And don't go away just yet. It's now time for our Thursday sports page.
That's right. What's going on today, Simon?
Your Thursday sports page page, everyone, because I have some news from the worlds of volleyball, soccer, and football coming your way after the break. Stay tuned.
As we mark 250 years of America, Wounded Warrior Project honors those who serve. They've given us their commitment and sacrifice. We're here to give them a brighter future. Our programs and services help warriors access VA benefits, improve mental and physical health, and thrive for a lifetime. They've given us their best. Join us in supporting them through the next 250 years of strength and resilience. Visit woundedwarriorproject.org/USA.
All right, sports fans, we begin your Thursday sports page with some news from the volleyball court, as there was a bunch of high school action last night. Oxon Hill took down Largo 3-0. Ceresville lost to Gwynn Park in a close game 3-2. And finally, CMIT South shut out Central 3-0. Meantime, the UMD men's soccer team has been killing it this season. The Terps are currently 8-3, with the most recent win coming against Rutgers on Tuesday. And the team's season just keeps on getting better and better, as midfielder Leon Cole and goalie Lauren Mack have both received weekly All-Big Ten honors. Cole was named Offensive Player of the Week after recording a goal and an assist in the team's 2-0 win over Michigan this past Friday. And Mack, who won Big Ten Goalkeeper of the Week, received this honor after helping the team record their 5th shutout of the season in the same game against the Wolverines, recording 3 saves. Maryland will face off next versus Ohio State on Saturday. In other news, the Washington Commanders will try to bounce back from their Monday night loss against the Chicago Bears in their game this weekend against a familiar foe in the Dallas Cowboys. Now, don't be fooled by the Cowboys' 2-3 record, guys, as division games are always a tough battle, especially with how well quarterback Dak Prescott has been playing.
I mean, he is playing at a high level, getting the ball out of his hands. He has really good eligibles outside. CD will be back. Turp will be back. So the running back is running hard. The offensive line is blocking really good. Tyler Smith, one of the best guards. The young rookie Booker, he's playing well. Steele's playing well. They're blocking in as a unit. The tight ends, Ferguson, he's highly targeted. Dak has a comfort level with him. They're putting up a lot of points. They're good run and pass. They're very good offense. And so we have our work cut out for us.
Now, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about this game, y'all. Hopefully my team can grab win number 4 on Sunday. Kickoff is at 4:25. And that wraps up today's sports page. Back to you, Jonathan and Anaya.
And definitely root for the Commanders as well.
Let's go.
And let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight will be clear with calm winds. Tomorrow is going to be 63 degrees and sunny to kick off the weekend. Saturday will be mostly sunny. We'll have a high of 68 and a low of 54. Sunday will be partly sunny, but grab an umbrella. We have a 40 to 60% chance of rain after 2 p.m.
And for our community calendar this weekend, the Stonefield Productions presents Cycles, a stage play dramedy about past trauma, forgiveness, and the value of family. This show will be playing all weekend at the Bowie Center for the Performing Arts. For tickets or for more information, visit bowiecenter.org.
And don't have time to catch our top stories and sports on television? You can find them on our YouTube page or follow us on all of our social media platforms.
Or if you have a story idea, you can reach out to our CTV News tip line by giving us a call at 301-386-4085 or send us an email at ctvnews@pgctv.org.
As always, we look forward to hearing directly from you.
Yes, and that's a wrap, right?
Yeah, I think that wraps up the news for today. Thanks again for joining us.
We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.
things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.